did that game feel the other night for you from the point production standpoint?
It felt well. It felt well. I was feeling very well the last 2-3 games. It's just I wasn't scoring, but I was feeling that I was moving better and playing better and taking better decisions. So I knew it was a matter of time. All things align and fall in place, and you have a good game, and it happened last game.
You've been playing so long. Are you able to play through little slumps easier than maybe when you were younger?
A little easier, but your personality is your personality, and there's people that get really nervous, get really, worry about a lot of stuff, and there's people that they don't get like that. They just have a different personality. With the years, you can slow the extremes a little bit, but your personality is still your personality. So, I usually make a big deal out of things. So I did at some point overreact a little bit, less than I would 10 years ago, but it's still, up to my personality, and it's just a way I've been playing my whole career.
That's just your pursuit of excellence. You get frustrated when you're not performing to your best.
Yeah, and like I said, there's a lot of different personalities, and a lot of them work very well in the totally different opposite reactions. But I believe that things go wrong, you gotta have some level of concern and worriness. So that's just the way I approach it.
How does that play with the group? How do you try to transfer that level of urgency? Because we know people talking about defense right now, the numbers are sliding. How do you put that urgency into the other players?
I believe, it's true. All the numbers. That's the thing about numbers. Obviously, numbers don't lie. But there's a lot of numbers. So you can watch one part of the numbers, and you can watch another part of the numbers. So you can come here and bring 3 or 4 numbers that show us that we are extremely bad. And at the same time, we can come with another 3 or 4 numbers that show us we're really good.
Like wins.
Like wins, per se. Or, we won, I don't know, 10 out of the last 12 or 11 at home. Or, so there's a lot of numbers out there, which that doesn't mean that the numbers lie. When the numbers show is you got something you got to work on. You got some part of the game you got to get better at, and we got to do that. That's very important, because what we're chasing is something bigger than where we are right now. But at the same time, we realize that we're doing a lot of good things. So if by fixing those bad things, we creating some other problems, you don't want to do that. You want to just add more stuff to what you're already good at, and hopefully become better and be more ready for when the playoffs come. But we got this great team that is we're winning games, and we are a good team, and we got a lot of good numbers to show, and a lot of good parts of the game that we're really good at it. So we gotta work while knowing that we are a good team. There's some teams that are in panic, that are almost out of the playoff, and it's much harder to work that way versus when you are a good team. So I'm sure if you go to Cleveland, or if you go to maybe not Golden State, and maybe not San Antonio, because they're extremely good, but if you go all the good teams, they will have part of the game that they want to get better at, and that's what they do. Good teams, they focus on those while keeping the things that they do good, so they can become a really, really dangerous team going into the playoff.
Sorry, go ahead.
When people factor in, defense, and they have questions, one position a lot of people do zero in, and is power forward, is your position. They kind of wonder if there are numbers that show that you and Jonas kind of struggle in some situations defending pick and roll. Are you conscious of that? Is that something?
No, I just believe, it's an overall. It's just an overall thing. It's an overall game. It's a 5-player game, and some situations we're gonna be worse in one areas and better in some other areas, and it's gonna be like that. And like I said, there's obviously things to get better all the time. So we're working on those, but there has to be a lot of good things out there too. So you can't just focus on the bad thing. You can't just focus on the good thing neither. So we gotta find a way to figure out how we're gonna get better towards the playoff, but knowing that we are a good team.
When you have games like you did the other night, and as you said, you're kind of conscious of your performance, does it kind of what's the word? Does it make you, I guess, do you get some encouragement from that, and know that things are turning in the right direction for you?
Obviously, you need results at some point. You can be doing the right thing, putting the work, and being focused and do all the right things before the game, or before practice, or before a stretch. But if you don't get the results at some point, it gets more difficult. So, and the results come. If you do the right thing all the time, the results come. So you got to focus on that.
With all your experience, how much value do you think you can bring to this team off the floor as we get closer to the playoffs and into the playoffs?
I believe there's some value that I can bring, off the court. It's just probably it's not up to me to put a number on it, how much that value is. It would be other people that can have a better idea of what kind of value is that. It's very hard for me to determine what kind of value myself bring to the team outside of the court. So probably some other people would answer that better.
Pat mentioned, I think it was a couple months ago, beginning of January, you had that loss in Chicago, and you sort of spoke to the team after the game. Is that a role that you feel comfortable in because of your experience, and you find that guys are sort of more, I guess, receptive to what you have to say, your message?
Yeah, I think so. I think players more receptive to listen to players versus coaches sometimes. And I also believe that sometimes it's good to have other voices, not only the coaches always repeating the same things. And sometimes when you combine better players with the coaching voices, it creates a better result, I believe. Always the job coach will be, the coach's job will be the most important part. His voice will be always the most important one. But sometimes, if some players, good veterans that have been around and played big games and went through different situations, can complement that, I think it creates a better result.
There's a bit of sort of a concern, about the defense and coaches saying, I'm yelling about it, but I'm the only one yelling. Does it start to tune out the voice of the coach a little bit?
No, we don't tune out the coach, but there's a problem that happens when you always make the same mistake. The coach always got to say the same things, and it becomes repetitive. And it's a problem because it's true what he's saying. It's not just a broken record. It's something that is happening. So hopefully, the ideal thing would be not doing the same mistake over and over. So you don't have to listen to the coach say the same thing. So he can be correcting stuff, but it will be different stuff. And I think it's better. But we have been repeating quite a few mistakes, and there's something we have to fix as a team. We got to mature, and we got to find a way to fix those things as a team.
Been in the Toronto sort of market here now for a while. How have your whole family, everybody assimilated into the city here?
It's been a great experience. It's been very good so far. The team is nice. The city is amazing. My kids like it. My family, my whole family likes it. And the experience in the basketball court has been really nice too. So for now, it's been great.